Roughly 5 years ago, I made a decision to start my first business, which was designing websites. I built this business from the ground up whilst working my full-time job as a software engineer alongside all of the other responsibilities that come with being an adult. Today, I now have a total of 7 different side hustles that I have built, and whilst it may seem from the outside that I'm crushing it, it certainly hasn't came without its sacrifices and lessons learned along the way. Which is why today I'm here to share with you my secret formula that I have used not to only build income-paying side hustles, but also at the same time to allow myself to have a healthy work-life balance at the same time. Okay, so first things first, what I'm going to have to do is introduce you to something that I have called the TIPS framework. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have just completely made that name up. However, the components of this framework I have actually been subconsciously implementing over the past 5 or 6 years, and I would put them as the key elements as to why I have had so much side hustle success. So without further ado, let's get into the framework and let's start with the T section, which is going to stand for time. Now, when it comes to time, it is absolutely everything in our lives, especially when it comes to starting a side hustle. Time is one of the only things that we cannot control, but it's also something that is handed out to us equally, given the fact that we are all given 24 hours in a single day. However, the thing with time is that some people's circumstances are going to be different to others, meaning that some people are not going to have as much time in a day to work on their side hustles or their passions. For example, a single guy like myself is typically going to have more time in the day than maybe a mother that is raising 2 children by herself. One of the first side hustles that I actually started was investing into the stock market for dividend income, and the reason why I actually started it was because at the time I had absolutely no spare time at all, and I knew that this was going to be a really quick side hustle to get started on, and it was me working out how much time I had that actually motivated that decision. So first things first, work out how much free time you have, and that will make the rest so much easier. Next on my tips framework is going to be the I, which is going to stand for interest. Now, when it comes to a side hustle or a passion, you're going to need to pick something that you care about. Remember, a side hustle should be something that you build on the side, and there should be no pressure at all to earning any money from it straight away, because it's going to be something that you enjoy. As a content creator, I always get to see so many people flip-flapping between the next in thing when there's no real passion behind starting it other than the potential money that they can earn. Perfect example that I started as a side hustle, which I looked at as a long-term project, was this YouTube channel. In my first 11 months, and whilst I created over 65 videos, the total income that I had made from my new side hustle was 0. And whilst I probably could have just dedicated that time to creating more websites and making more money, I realized that my passion was making videos and being creative, and over the long time that has really started to pay off. So ask yourself, when you're picking your next side hustle, can I see myself doing this in 4 or 5 years, or am I just looking to make a quick bit of money? If the answer is yes, then go for it, but if the answer is no and you just want to make some quick money, then it's probably going to be better off if you just go ahead and get a second job. You're definitely going to save so much time for doing that. Next up on the framework is going to be one of the most important parts if you want to start building a side hustle outside of your 9 to 5, and that is going to be P, which stands for passive. This is because ideally the side hustle that you are going to start is going to be one that in the future can either pay you either a semi or full-time passive income without you having to put any work towards making money from it. Now, I know what you might be thinking, what the hell is this passive income stuff? Is it a scam? Is it even a thing? Well, let me explain. First things first, passive income isn't what the gurus make it out to be. It's not this magical formula where you decide to start doing something, then all of a sudden you just start getting paid money. That is absolutely not the case. Passive income, to me and anybody that I believe practices it properly, is the process of you putting the work in up front to be rewarded at a later date and potentially forever. Let's use this YouTube video that I filmed over a year ago as the perfect example. Now, this video that I made took me around 20 hours to film, from the idea to filming it to editing it to, of course, uploading, doing the thumbnail, and then releasing it on YouTube. And if we take a look at the analytics for the first 24 hours of this video, what it actually tells us is that for the 20 hours that I put in, I only made £7.02 for that work. Now, if you ask me, getting paid £7 for 20 hours of my own time isn't exactly the best return on investment, right? However, This is where the power of passive income really comes into play. Let's now fast forward to today, where this video has now been live for over 18 months, and as you can see, this video has now made me nearly £2,300 and is still getting views and earning income today. And if you haven't guessed it already, the best thing about this is that I have had to put in absolutely zero work other than the original 20 hours that I had to put in over 18 months ago when I filmed the video. So when it comes to implementing the tips framework, when it comes to starting a side hustle, you really do want to be focusing on the passive side of things, and you want to be not working harder but instead working smarter, because at the end of the day, I have 7 different side hustles that I work on in my spare time, and I would be lying to you if I said that I worked on every single one of those side hustles every single day. That simply just isn't the case. And what's even better about all of this is that if you can get this part nailed more than any of the other parts, then the next part of the tips framework is going to be so much easier, and that is going to be the S section, which is going to stand for scale. So by this point, you should have a really good idea on how much time you can spend working on things. You should definitely know what kind of things you're interested in starting, and maybe you've even tested a few of those side hustles out, and hopefully by now you might even be earning some either semi or fully passive income to get you started. Now, if you are there, now is the time to scale and take these businesses to the next level, and there are many different ways that you can do this. It could be done in the form of hiring some employees to help you out. It could be reducing your hours at the 9 to 5 to give you more time to work on your side hustles, or it could be where I have benefited the most, and that is using quality softwares and services to take repetitive tasks off your hands. Which leads me to this video's sponsor. Now, as an entrepreneur that juggles multiple side hustles and businesses, admin and accounting work can be a nightmare. However, this is where I came across Awesome. This is a completely done-for-you accounting service managed by real people, and their goal is simply to help out entrepreneurs with digital businesses. Awesome will take away the boring parts of running a business and allow you to focus on the main thing, which is making money. Now, if you wanted to take advantage of their 2-month free accounting package plus a free strategy call, make sure you head over to www.christosfellas.com/awesome or click the link in the description down below. But it's not just hiring new people and downloading softwares that can actually help you scale. It can even be simple things like just upgrading your equipment. Let's use my YouTube side hustle as an example once again. Now, if you take a look here, what you can see here is me filming my first ever YouTube video. I filmed this video with an iPhone, notes on a piece of paper, and a completely massive dose of I don't have a clue of what I was doing. Whereas now I've completely upgraded my setup with things like this ridiculously big light, which apparently makes me look a lot better on camera. I'll let you guys be the judge of that one. But jokes aside, as you can probably see, it has made the quality of my videos much better, and it's allowed me to film more videos in better quality with better value more often. But having said that, if we now revisit my tips framework and implement it into any side hustle idea that you currently have, I can assure you that you will be able to successfully start and build a side hustle alongside your 9 to 5 job without having to affect the quality of your life. Now, if you were stuck for ideas on what side hustles you could start, well, you're in the right place again, because up here I have created a video sharing my 5 best side hustles that anybody can start from home in 2022. You don't want to miss it.